G'day, welcome back to DC Extra. My name is Chris, and today we are going to be exploring 10 things you need to know before heading to the cinemas and watching Supergirl. Let's get started with the most important question. Who is Supergirl? Supergirl, or Kara Zor-el, is the biological cousin of Superman, who we already met in last year's DCU film. Unlike her cousin though, she was raised on Krypton before its destruction, able to remember the death of her family and friends. Eventually though, she too was sent to Earth, and upon arriving her cousin was an adult and had already revealed himself to the world as Superman. Now under a yellow sun, she has the same powers as her cousin. Which brings us to our next section. What are Supergirl's powers? Like Superman, under a yellow sun, Supergirl has a variety of powers which include flight, super strength, super hearing, super speed, heat vision, X-ray vision, and not to mention she's basically invulnerable. But that's not to say she doesn't have her weaknesses. Like any other Kryptonian, she's weakened by kryptonite, a rare mineral originating from her home planet of Krypton. Additionally, under a red sun, she's also weakened, having no powers, basically just being a normal human. This movie is largely based on the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow comic series, written by Tom King, with illustrations by Bill Quist-Everly. I won't go into the plot too much here, as it could potentially spoil the movie, but based on what we know from the trailer footage, it looks like the movie will be following the events seen in the comic very closely. Starting off with Kara meeting Ruthie on her homeworld, and then going out into the galaxy together in chase of space pirates, known as the Brigands. Though that raises the question, who is Ruthie? Ruthie Mary Knoll, or simply Ruthie, is a young girl who, after witnessing the death of her father, swears vengeance on his killer and wants to hunt him down, leading her to meet Supergirl and asking for her help in this noble quest. That, I guess, brings us to the main villain of the movie, that being Krem of the Yellow Hills, or simply Krem if you prefer. Krem is the man who murdered Ruthie's father and additionally hurts Krypto in his attempt to escape the planet. Eventually, he will meet up with the previously mentioned Brigands, who together will terrorize the galaxy. This sets him on a direct collision course with Supergirl, who needs to catch up to him to save her beloved dog, with the additional benefit of saving lives. Additionally though, we will be introduced to Lobo, a Cezannian bounty hunter. Typically in the comics, he is seen as more of an antagonist, and he may very well play that role in the movie, but depends on who is paying him. He could very easily help Supergirl and Ruthie in their hunt for Krem. What makes him so ruthless is his power set, rivaling Supergirl with his strength and durability, but in addition to that, he's also basically immortal, being able to regenerate body parts in very little time, even surviving having his head blown off at one stage in the comic books. The main events of this movie will take place in present day DCU, that being 2026, like real life, meaning that it follows the events of Superman, which took place a year prior in 2025. Presumably we pick up immediately after Kara departs the Fortress of Solitude at the end of that film, having reunited with Krypto and heading back out into the cosmos to get drunk again.
Thanks for watching him, bitch!
We will, however, witness multiple flashbacks, specifically to Kara's time on Krypton and Argo, witnessing her tragic backstory as she watches her entire planet die. Specifically, through the trailers, we see a few shots of the moment Argo is extracted from Krypton, her mother's funeral, or someone else's funeral, but I assume it's her mother's, and then the moment she leaves Argo. We may also see some additional moments before the destruction of Krypton, and in between Kara's mother's death and her departing Argo. Following the conclusion of this movie, Supergirl will return in next year's Man of Tomorrow, alongside Superman. Therefore, that makes this film very important in setting up her status quo in that film. How she ends this movie will directly set up how she begins the next one. Finally, a bit of a behind the scenes look at who is portraying the main characters in this movie. Firstly, we have Millie Alcock as Supergirl, or Kara Zor-el, accompanied by Eve Ridley, playing Ruthie Mary Knoll. Opposing them is Matthias Schoenaerts as Krem of the Yellow Hills, and Jason Momoa as Lobo. Additionally, David Corenswet is confirmed to reprise his role as Superman, and Kara's parents, Zor-el and Allura and Z, are played by David Krumholtz and Emily Beacom, respectively. That there is everything you need to know before watching Supergirl. If you want more of an in-depth breakdown, exploring plot predictions, consider checking out my trailer breakdown. And make sure to come back for the full movie breakdown after it comes out. That is all for today though, so I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more content like this. But until next time, this has been Chris, and I'll be seeing ya.